Hi and welcome back to Save with Crypto. My name is Save with Crypto, and today, Friday the 10th of April, we did our usual live stream at midday UK time, which is about 11 AM UTC, I believe. After the stream, me and Maff had a little conversation. We were talking about the price of Bitcoin, and Bitcoin was starting to move a little bit as we got the CPI data. Let's just have a listen to the conversation, because I did record it because I thought it'd make quite good content, so you can have a listen behind the scenes of what we talk about.
Okay, so what I was going to show on here actually was going to be the price continuing down, because it was dropping quite a lot, wasn't it? At one point, it was a steady bearish candle coming down to where that wick currently ends, but then it suddenly reversed. So in a way, that's kind of undermined what I was going to show. But in any case, so this is what I drew in during the live stream earlier on, and it looked very much as if the price was going to come down to this retracement level, which I think it still will at some point. It'll retrace in much the same way that it did to that one and touch down. But in this case, it's probably not quite ready for it to do that just yet. What it has done, though, is it's wicked up, touched. So it went through these. So it went through obviously that initial line of resistance, broke up straight through that range, up through that one as well. If it can use that as support now, if it stays on that as support, that'd be pretty great. Just bounces off this line and heads back up, and then this becomes the new range. See you in a moment. What's it going to do? It's stopped. Oh no, it's coming down through. So if it breaks down through there, then it's going to be a case of, like, can it stay within this range and not break down further? But in any case, what it did here was it came down, it touched off the 9 EMA, which we were talking about, weren't we? It's something that it could well do, and then it might well just come down, touch the 9 EMA, and head back up. In fact, so what it did is it wicked down considerably, and then just kind of came up to the candle open, which was at the 9 EMA, and then headed up. So what's that going to do? I don't know. I can move this line along now, because that was going to be kind of like the price is going to head up, then it's going to come down, touch that retracement level there, and then kind of work its way back up. And also thinking that it might well draw another retracement level around about here, because then it's doing this stepping stone thing, isn't it? It's going from there up to there, and then maybe up to there again. So depends what it does. It's come down to that level now. It's threatening to break below it, isn't it? So if it does, then the next point might well be that liquidity just there, which is also where the 9 EMA is again, except that it's stayed within that range and actually bounced off that line. There's a definite tug of war going on right there, just in terms of like what level it holds, what range it holds within.
Yeah, we were looking at the CPI data. Well, we were talking about the CPI data earlier on.
Yeah,
I'm not actually sure what the results were, actually. Let me just have a look.
The price is acting fairly positively, but not in a sort of rip roaring kind of we're off to the moon kind of way.
Everything was down, but not massively.
No.
Okay, so the news was probably as expected, but not as bad, possibly.
Yeah, hence nothing's really quite happening there. But just what is quite interesting, I suppose, is just how it's kind of respected these ranges, because that one is obviously just it's been resistance all the way along there, and now it's potentially support if it can just stay above there this time.
Yeah, the other thing I was going to mention was if you look at the daily time frame, pretty much just looking at the EMAs here, but so you can see that for a long time we've had the green 55 above the yellow 21 EMA. But
as in like all the way down there.
yeah. However, now what we're seeing is, actually, you don't tend to show the 5 EMA, do you? But
I can bring it on. Yes.
If you pop the 5 EMA on, you'll see that the 5 has just crossed above the 55 as of kind of, well, today, really, I suppose.
Yeah. Okay. That crossover right there, the red going above the green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last time that happened was actually kind of back in January, and that did fail, actually, because the EMAs didn't the 21 and 55 didn't cross over, which is what could happen again, you know.
But so these are not quite in the right, like, super bullish order, are they?
No. If you look at, say, if you look at the 12-hour, you'll see that they are, you know.
Let's do that. Yeah, green, yellow, cyan, red. Okay.
Yeah, so they are there. But to me, there's like everything sort of like lining up here.
That's amazing how the 12-hour's got some. There's something in it, isn't there?
Yeah.
The 12-hour, because that retracement level just perfectly touched with the wick as the 55 EMA came down as well.
Yeah.
And because that's a bullish retracement, it's very much expecting the price to come up, touch it, or wick slightly above, and then drop down, like whoomp, down it went. So there's some level of confluence right there.
Yeah. So we got those EMAs looking, I think, you know, likely that if they do cross that as a very bullish sign, certainly on the daily. On the there's that downwards trend line that we were looking at on the daily. I mean, that's not far away at all now. That's only like a few $100 away. And then there's also the one I was talking about as well is the low, the April 7th low from last year, which is at about 74.4.
Okay.
So to me, there's all these things that it just needs to sort of like just nudge above somehow. And I think if that's the case, then I think that this could be a bit of a bottom. And even you know, zooming out, there's a bit of a double bottom there, and you know, all the classic sort of stuff, really. You know, I'm just wondering if it looks just too obvious, but I don't know. I think it.
So for the double bottom, do you mean like there and there?
Yeah.
So the right cheek is higher as well.
which is how I like it. Yeah.
So because it also goes back to the old structure that we were talking about earlier on, like on the weekly, because that one there was very much looking like the price was. Actually, I'm just going to switch off quads just for a sec. Price very much looking bear flaggy there, wasn't it, in that accumulation range, and then kind of dropped again. But this time, it has, as I was saying before, it hasn't really sort of looked like that much of a bear flag. Again, it's because it's formed a much flatter base, support base. So that could be a bit more. So instead of just doing that and down another 30%, then it could be and sort of keep going back to that one, which is the 200 daily moving average. It could well come up and touch wherever that is at that point, which might be sort of 86-ish. It's possible, even if it just wicks up there briefly. It seems possible, and then at that stage, this disappears, because I think that's just no longer valid at that point.
Yeah.
So, but it's got to break above that level, which is pretty much exactly where it is. That sort of 72.8. It's currently at 72.2. So it kind of needs to close the week, really. So not just wick above, but actually close the week above that, because that's looking compelling. You know, I mean, the flat bottom notwithstanding, it's looking like a compelling, 30% drop. because it's kind of lining up for that. So yeah, but it's, you know, Bitcoin is on a knife edge again,
and of course that resistance trend line that we were talking about from the all-time high down to where we are now, sort of
yeah,
so close to that might be the thing where it might not get through there. It might just, you know, come back down after that. Okay, so just to clarify what I was talking about there, this is Bitcoin USD on the daily time frame. So if you think about these touch points here and here, so that was the all-time high in October last year, and then this kind of peak here in January, and then we're down here. We are actually right on this trend line right now. So I'm kind of hoping that the next day or two we're going to see some sort of breakout from this trend line. And if it does that, it may well sort of like just break straight out, or it might break out and retest or do something like that, or it might just reject and come back down again and then try for it later on. But what I'm hoping is something more like what's happened in the past. So if you look at this one here, this was back in January 2025. The price was coming down here, and then it got to April 2025 and off we went. And even if we go back a bit further to say 2021, you can see that the price was coming down, did 3 touches like that, and then it did drift sideways for a little bit, but then eventually went back up from 16k up to the all-time high. The other level I was talking about was the low from April last year, which was the Trump tariff. News here, and that is at about 74,384, which is a little bit down from where we are right now. So I think it is on a knife edge and things are looking rather interesting. I would say if we do go up, it might go up a lot. If we do go down, we could be just in for more downside before it goes up again. But I think the next few days or even few weeks is going to be pretty interesting. So if you want to know more about what we're thinking about, then come along to one of the live streams every Monday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday at midday UTC. Every Monday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday at 12 o'clock British time, British summer time. That is 11 a.m. UTC. And then we do lots of videos besides that as well. So yeah, do come along. If you've enjoyed this video, please make sure you are subscribed. You got the notifications set to all. Do like the video, of course, and above all, tell your friends. Please note that this content is for educational and entertainment purposes only and is not financial advice. Any information or opinions provided are not guaranteed to be accurate or complete. Always conduct your own research before making any financial decisions. A full legal disclaimer is in the description of each video and live stream.